Now, you guys, as promised, I've got a Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively update. This story has been taking up like 90% of the morning report. I launched the morning report maybe like 2 weeks ago. And ever since I launched it, like every day there has been something about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. So why don't we go ahead and get into the latest iteration? You know who Justin looks like in this photo up here? Did you guys ever watch that movie? And it's a kind of a religious movie, I think, because I remember them making us watch it in Catholic school. It's like it's a religious movie. It's on the tip of my tongue, or maybe it looks like someone from Kronk. Release the Lever, Kronk. What's the name of that show with Kronk and someone else? He reminds me of the movie where like they put Jesus in the basket in Egypt and then he sails away. Like the dad or the uncle or someone. I don't like it's just such a blur for me, but to me he looks exactly like the cartoon in that movie in this photo. But anyway, I digress. So just for those of you who might not be aware, and by the way, if you're enjoying the stream, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you're enjoying my stream so you never miss out on a morning report. As I mentioned earlier, in case you're just joining me, I will not be doing the morning report on the 31st or the 1st just because it's the holidays and there's nothing really going on. I will be back on the 2nd of January. However, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So now, where we last left off with the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively situation was that Blake Lively had filed a legal complaint with the intent to sue Justin Baldoni, accusing him of launching a smear campaign against her. Her team, they had a subpoena in order to get access to the text messages of that's so cute, Jen. Give me 1 second. I'll respond to your comment. That's so cute. To get the text messages from the PR. Yes, Theo, the Prince of Egypt. Doesn't he look like the character from the Prince of Egypt? He looks just like him. So yeah, they wanted to get access to these text messages that proved, or allegedly would prove, that Justin Baldoni had been launching this smear campaign. And listen, the text messages were damning, you guys. They showed that his PR agents were pretty much saying that that's exactly what they were doing. And they said, listen, it's not even that hard for us to convince anyone of anything because people are just so ready to tear down women. And these ladies in the text messages, they also said that Justin wasn't that great. They said that he gave them the ick. They said he was creepy. They said all sorts of things that confirmed that Blake did also file the HR complaint and everything like that as well, right? So now Justin Baldoni is clapping back. And not only that, but after Blake filed her lawsuit, one of Justin's former PR people also filed a lawsuit, which also accused Justin of launching a PR attack against Blake. It's a whole thing. But Justin is not going down without a fight, you guys. He has lawyered up, and his lawyer has reached out to People magazine, and they said that Justin is going to be filing a lawsuit against Blake Lively in January. You know, guys, this is why I'm not doing the morning report on the 31st and the 1st. Everything is shut down for now. Okay, like things are not really moving right now. So in January, we're going to get more news like this. So they said that their lawsuit against Blake will bring forth the truth and expose, quote, those who believe themselves to be untouchable. This is not a response or countersuit. It's a deliberate pursuit of truth, is what Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, tells People magazine. They said that the lawsuit will expose the falsities in Blake Lively's complaint. His direct quote was, "This lawsuit will uncover and expose the false and destructive narrative that was intentionally engineered by a trusted media publication who relied upon nefarious sources and neglected a thorough fact-checking process to confirm the validity of these texts." So I guess he's going to say those text messages were not even real, which, guys, do you believe that? I personally think that those text messages were as real as it gets. And I think that another hint that they're real is because they were very easily handed over by the woman who would go on to sue Justin Baldoni herself. She had her own separate axe to grind. And basically her axe to grind was, listen, these employees who were spearheading this, they worked for me, but I had no idea that this was, the extent of what they were doing. I thought they were just trying to clean up his image. I didn't know that they were going to try to attack Blake. And she also didn't know that these employees were going to try to backdoor her and steal her clients. And so I don't see why she would go ahead and doctor these messages when she's got her own lawsuit to prove how all of this links to the employees wanting to backdoor her. But I digress. Maybe you guys have different ideas there. If you guys think that these text messages could have been doctored, feel free to let me know in the live chat if you're watching live, or if you are part of my VOD squad, my playback posse, let me know in the comment section, okay? The lawyer continued to say, and I quote, "There is an insurmountable collection of authentic evidence, including timelines and communications, which have not been doctored or spliced without context, unlike the altered New York Times story that ran on Saturday, December 21st, 2024. And that New York Times article, of course, was entitled, 'We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine.'" The lawyer also said, "In over 3 decades of legal practice, I've never witnessed such unethical behavior fueled by those who abuse their power and manipulate the truth. This isn't an isolated case. It is a reoccurring pattern in Hollywood and the mainstream media, where careers and reputations are destroyed to maintain control." So he really is eviscerating Blake Lively in his statement to People magazine. And so I do hope that he's got everything to back this up, because he is talking a big talk. And like he says, Blake Lively is very powerful, especially because she is a Nepo baby. She comes from like a family that was already in Hollywood. Her husband is very big in Hollywood as well, and in the business world. So I do hope that he's got everything to back up what it is that he's saying. And then they said that legacy media has long weaponized their platforms to distort the truth, exploit vulnerabilities, and destroy lives without accountability. These lawsuits will confront the system head on, ensuring that no individual or entity, no matter how influential, can continue perpetuating the cycle of fear and destruction. The truth will not only come to light, it will dismantle the illusions propped up by those who believe themselves untouchable. Wow, you guys, he means business. Listen, they might have some good evidence here, okay? I don't know. As soon as the courts reopen in the new year, Baldoni plans to file a countersuit against Lively. Friedman told the British outlet that the forthcoming filing will, quote, "shock everyone." The Daily Mail is also reporting that Justin Baldoni's impending filing will contain specific claims about Blake Lively's PR team, led by her publicist, Leslie Sloan, including an allegation that Leslie Sloan planted stories to paint Justin Baldoni in a bad light and lead a smear campaign against him, and not the other way around. Whoo! I've got to catch my breath. Listen. At the end of the day, it would not surprise me if both things were true. What if they were both planting smear campaigns against each other? Would that surprise any of you? Because I do think that the text messages that Blake presented are authentic, as much as Justin and his lawyers say that they're not, and that they were taken out of context. But I also can believe that Blake was doing the same thing on her side too. I mean, come on now. This is Hollywood, right? At the end of the day, I don't know that it was Blake or Justin specifically asking their PR teams to do this, but perhaps it was their PR teams that came to them and said, "Let's do this against the other person. We got to be on the offensive and stuff like that." I don't know. What do you guys think? For now, we don't have anything to support what Justin's lawyers are saying, of course, but they said in a couple of days when those courts open, and those courts are going to open right in the new year, and we're already December 30th, the new year is in 2 days, we're going to get all the screenshots. And then he said that the text messages that Blake's teams have been putting out there, they were taken out of context. But listen, there are many text messages, y'all. There were 20 pages of text messages. And then Blake's team said that they had access to over 1,000 different messages, right? So I don't know. This is going to be ugly, you guys. This is going to be ugly. And yeah, Theo, when I saw that, oh my God, I was like, at first they said, "Oh, this person, Blake's brother-in-law, speaks up for her." I said, okay, who cares? It's just a random person. And then they showed a picture of him, and it was, Mr. Bolton. That was funny. Listen, I am looking forward to hearing Justin's side of the story. However, based off of the information that Blake Lively had put out there, I don't think that he's going to be as vindicated as he wants us to believe that he is going to be. But I do also think that we're going to see another side to Blake as well. and I really am looking forward, right? I am looking forward to finally getting his side, because I do think that both sides deserve to be heard. So we've got Dija Lawyer Chick, who says it's a tricky balance because her allegations should be deemed credible while also waiting for all evidence to come out. I completely agree. So, I'm glad to hear that Justin's going to be speaking out. While you're here, Dija Lawyer Chick, I do have a question for you, if you don't mind answering. How is it that Justin Baldoni, let me take this picture down, he's going to be filing a countersuit if Blake Lively has not yet filed a lawsuit? At this point, she had only filed a legal complaint. So would it not be a counter complaint, or is he going to just go, okay, well, you filed this complaint, it destroyed my reputation. He wound up getting dropped from WME and everything like that. So in response, I will be suing you. Would this be like an actual lawsuit in response to the countersuits, I wonder? If you don't mind, I would love to know. I think this would be very interesting for us all here. Rose says, I knew there was something off about the whole smear campaign and the online dragging of a female entertainer by a man in the industry. Theo says, I thought they both were running smear campaigns against each other immediately as image rehab. So it looks like a lot of you guys do think that that is what actually wound up playing out. And honestly, I would not be surprised at all. Listen, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, right, that you and I could not even imagine. And perhaps Blake thought that by coming out like this, getting the public on her side and everything like that, everybody speaking out for her, Justin would be too scared to sue just based off of the whole the sexism angle. But at this point, Justin's got nothing to lose, y'all. He literally doesn't. His name has been tarnished. I think it's been forever tarnished. He has been dropped from WME, which is one of the biggest entertainment agencies in the world. So yeah, he has no choice but to go ahead and fight back. Okay. Yes, please, you guys, like East Awesome says, if you're enjoying the stream, please do make sure to give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows you enjoy the morning report. LB says, I fell for it, but can't deny those text messages. Plus the cast standing up for her says a lot. I agree. The cast has all stood up for her, and not all, but a lot of the cast has stood up for her and her old co-workers from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. However, I will note that the Gossip Girl crew has not said anything as of yet. I'm just saying that is a little bit interesting. And we also know that a lot of people who were working on the film It Ends With Us unfollowed Justin Baldoni or did not do press runs with Justin Baldoni and everything like that. So I don't know. Listen, I don't think that he is going to have as strong of a response to those text messages and everything as his lawyer is amping us up for. But listen, when that lawsuit drops, I will be here reading it, just like I read the lawsuit or the legal complaint that Blake Lively filed against him. Okay. Dija Lawyer Chick is back with an answer. Let me go ahead and see what she had to say. I'm not well versed in California law, but I believe it'd be a counter complaint. And if it's a suit, it would be a lawsuit since there's no original suit to counter. I knew it. Thank you, Dija Lawyer Chick. So I wonder what happens with these complaints, because apparently you've got to file a complaint in order to move towards filing a lawsuit. So I think this was just some sort of a formality. So it wouldn't surprise me if they both escalated towards lawsuits at this point. And I'm curious to know how much money they are both going to be looking for. Okay. Rose says, I just want to know his intentions behind the smear campaign. Was it to get ahead of? Yeah, apparently it was to get ahead of the stories, because one thing that we do know from the proof in the text messages and the proof from emails from his own PR people was that Blake Lively had filed an HR report against Justin Baldoni for alleged inappropriate conduct. And Justin was afraid that, because of this HR complaint, not only from Blake, but from other people who are working on the set as well, he was afraid that she would be talking about this, or that people would be wondering, because one of the contingencies that Blake had in order to continue moving forward filming this movie was that she wouldn't have to do press with Justin Baldoni. And Justin was scared that people would ask questions. And he said, okay, well, listen, before people even start asking questions about why it is that she is not going to do press runs with me, why don't we go ahead and, tell people basically that she is a nuisance. She and her husband, they're control freaks. They ruined the film. They were a nightmare to work with, all sorts of things. That is the running theory right now for why that is the way that it is. And Fionel, I agree with you. I think that Blake doesn't have a good relationship with her Gossip Girl co-star. So I do find that to be a little bit interesting. And yes, yep. Theo says, I was surprised that America Ferrera came out to support Blake when an interview with Blake being kind of rude to America was part of the smear campaign, right? And I think it all goes to show that you can make something look like anything, right? When you've got a motive behind the way you frame things, whether it's literally framing by cutting out something that was happening, maybe out, somewhere, to the left, to the right, above or below, an image, a video or something like that, or by putting a certain caption, by putting a certain music, by zooming in on certain expressions and stuff. You really can misrepresent things and take things out of context. So I think that this, this might lend credence to what it is that his lawyer was saying about, listen, some things were taken out of context. So let's buckle up and see what is going to come out of this lawsuit. Is going to be explosive. I think both sides are going to come out swinging against each other, and both sides have money. Okay, listen, Justin Baldoni, he might not be a name brand actor. We might not really know him that much. Okay, you guys. However, his friend, who's actually also someone who was allegedly creeping, on the set on Blake and everything like that, is a supposed billionaire. And I say supposed in quotations because these days they are calling everyone billionaires, and it is tired, and it is just, it's stupid. Okay. I can't verify that this guy is a billionaire, so I'm not going to say this guy's a billionaire, but I do know that this guy has a lot of money. He was financing this movie. Okay. So this guy, I think, is going to be bankrolling, also because he's a co-founder of the production company Wayfarer that puts together the film. So I think he's going to be bankrolling the lawyer for Justin Baldoni. And apparently the guy is on record saying that he would spend even $100 million to bury Blake Lively, you guys. So keep an eye out, you guys. There's a lot going on here. We got a lot to look forward to in the new year. Like I said earlier, this is the final morning report that I'm doing before the new year because there is just so little mess going on right now. The celebrities, they're winding down for the holiday season, right? Like already for Christmas, wasn't much going on.